Hi, now we're going to go over the assignment of contract agreement for a wholesale real estate transaction. If you haven't watched the first video on filling out the purchase agreement, I suggest you go back and watch that now. I'll put a link in the description below so you can click back and watch that first. But right now, let's just jump into the assignment agreement. In the first section here, we have the assignment fee. This fee can be anything you determine it should be for your efforts in what will be acceptable to the investor that you're assigning the deal to. So it can be $1,000, it can be a $5,000 fee, it can be $50,000 fee, depending on the price of the property. So really, we'll do another video, I guess, of what's an appropriate wholesaling fee, but this number can be changed to anything you need it to be. Okay, so that's your assignment fee is inserted there. This is you're the wholesaler or the assigner, and you're hereby assigning and transferring this to your investor, and you put your investor's name here where Mr. Rich Investor's name is. He's going to be the assignee in the contract. Okay, so sometimes this will be a company name, depending on who they want it made out to. So, but this is you. This is your investor. And then you're going to put off the purchase agreement, you're going to put the contract date here and the property address of the property that you're wholesaling. So this contract date, you can't just put any number in here or the date that you're doing this contract. It has to be the date from your purchase agreement, the date that your purchase agreement was signed. Okay. And then this section, the assigner warrants and represents that said contract is in full force and effect and is fully assignable. All of this right here just says that you have the right to assign this property. Here it talks about, that the property is going to be free of lien and encumbrances and all that. This will all be cleared up when the title company does their work, that when you go to closing, they're going to have, the title work say that, there's no mortgages on the house or anything like that. So, then here, this section is for your assignee, that they're agreeing that they're going to, close on the property and they're assuming all the terms of the property or, of the contract. And that if for some reason the seller doesn't go through with the transaction or something happens, that they're not going to hold you responsible. That once they sign this contract, it's between them and the seller of the property, and they're stepping into your shoes as the buyer. All right. And then right below that, we have where it says the assignment fee shall be paid at the time of closing. This form says this agreement says in the form of cash, official check, wire transfer. You're not going to get cash. No title company is going to give you cash, so I don't even know why that's in there. But you'll get a check, or you can have them wire the funds to your bank account, whichever you prefer typically. And then that will be listed on the HUD statement or the closing statement. It'll list you on there as getting an assignment fee, and it'll be on all the paperwork. So when you review the closing documentation, you should see that payment to you on there. Okay. And then, closing should take place no later than, this is also going to be the date that is on the purchase agreement. You can't put a different date in there. If the purchase agreement's for 30 days, you can't put 60 days on this. So you want to put the date that it closes from the purchase agreement. If you've given a deposit, you want to list that here, and you'll get that back when the transaction or when the closing happens. If you work closely with an investor, or you might have a list of investors that you work closely with, there's no reason, if you've got a good relationship with them, that if you get a house under contract, you can't just go ahead and have them write the good faith deposit and send it over to the title company. I do that all the time. So this section here says that the investor or the buyer that you assign this contract to can't assign it to somebody else without your approval or your permission. So it prevents, I'll use the word daisy chain. Daisy chains when, there's a bunch of people in a transaction and they keep selling it down the line to somebody else. This prevents that. This paragraph here just says that they can't assign it to somebody else without your approval. So, and then, then you both sign it. You assign it to them, and it's a done deal. And then this contract, along with the purchase agreement, will go to the title company. So the title company will know that, you've assigned your interest in the contract to this buyer, and, everything's good. So simple one-page form that you fill out when you do this. Your investor, your buyer will get a copy of the purchase agreement. They'll get a copy of this. You retain a copy for yourself. You retain a copy of the purchase agreement. You should always stay into communication with the title company to make sure everything's, going as planned and everybody's doing their part. But once this is signed, once the purchase agreement is signed, if you're working with a good title company, then they'll just take over and handle the transaction, and everything should be good to go. So that's it on the assignment agreement. We'll also do a video on a JV agreement if you're working with another wholesaler on a deal, and also an option agreement. And I'll explain the option agreement more in that video. But all right, thanks for watching this video. And again, links are below on the contract page of the website, so you can download a copy of this, and also on the purchase agreement video. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.